This is Mr. Pilarski, and we're going to be solving two-step equations today. This is the Prentice-Hall series, Algebra 1, copyright 2009, lesson 3-1. Our objectives today are I will be able to solve two-step equations, and I will be able to solve or write a two-step equation for a problem situation. To solve equations, you use the properties of equality repeatedly to get the term with the variable on one side of the equation and with a coefficient of 1. We will be using the reverse of the order of operations to solve two-step equations. The order of operations I'm referring to is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Today's lesson is really going to be focused on the last two steps of the order, the multiplication and division, and then the addition and the subtraction. When we solve equations, we'll be looking to undo the addition or subtraction first, and then undo the multiplication or division second. So let's see how this works out with a couple of examples. Example 1t, solving a two-step equation. It's called a two-step equation because it's going to take 2 steps to solve. Now, something that I'll do, and a lot of beginning algebra students do, is use a line to help keep the left and the right side of the equation straight. On the left-hand side, we have 13. On the right-hand side, we have the expression y divided by 3 plus 5. Putting them together, this equation reads 13 is equal to y divided by 3 plus 5. To solve this equation, we need to first undo the addition or the add 5, and we're going to do that by subtracting 5 from both sides. Now that's the subtraction property of equality that allows us to do that. The 5's on the right cancel and leave y divided by 3. Bring down my equal sign, do this math over here. 13 take away 5 is 8. Next, we need to get rid of this divide by 3. Since the opposite of division is multiplication, we're going to multiply both sides by 3. The 3's on the right cancel. Some students put the 3 over 1 so they don't accidentally multiply these 3's. So on the right-hand side, we're left with y. Now it has a coefficient of 1. On the left-hand side, we multiply 3 times 8 to get 24. One last step that I like to do is rewrite my solution so that the variable is on the left-hand side. So y is equal to 24. In this example, I'm not going to use the line, but you'll see how I'll keep the equal sign moving straight down the page as I show my work. Now, in the first example, I switched the variable at the very end of the problem. Some students like to switch it at the beginning, so I'm going to trade sides using the symmetric property. So I'm going to rewrite this equation as negative 5 plus 6x is equal to negative 12. Now I'll start using my properties of equality. I need to get rid of this negative 5. Using the addition property of equality, I add it to both sides. On the left-hand side of the equal sign, the negative 5 and the positive 5 cancel because they're opposites. That leaves us with 6x on the left-hand side of the equal sign. And on the right-hand side, negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7. We need to get rid of this 6 times x. We need to get rid of the 6. And since it's being multiplied, we're going to divide. And using the division property of equality, we have to divide both sides by 6. The 6's divide out. They become 1, leaving us a coefficient of 1 on the x and on the left-hand side of the equal sign. And here, I know many students are going to reach for their calculator, but you can leave the answer as a fraction, or you could change it to the mixed number, negative 1 and 1/6, or you could change it to a decimal by doing some division. Either way, our solution is x is equal to negative 7 over 6. To review, you want to undo the addition or subtraction first by using the addition and subtraction properties of equality. Then you want to use the multiplication or division properties of equality to undo the multiplication or division in your second step. Example 2T revolves around our second objective, which was I will be able to write a two-step equation for a problem situation. The problem reads, a music store sells a guitar for $120. This is $25 more than one half the cost of a new guitar of the same brand. What is the cost of a new guitar? To solve this problem, we want to write an equation. The question is, what is the cost of the new guitar? So we're ultimately going to want to find the cost of a new guitar. But we want to define a variable and write an equation. To do that, I like to relate or reread the problem to find out the useful information. In the first sentence, a music store sells a used guitar for $120. We know that they sell the used guitar for $120. The next sentence is the sentence we're going to translate into our equation. Now this word, this, refers back to this price of the used guitar. And this is the sentence we're going to translate into our equation right here. This. So when I go to relate this, I call this my relate step here. Write my equation out in some words. This is going to refer to the price of a used guitar. The next thing I translate is the word is. Then here we have $25. Then more than one half the cost, or more than one half the cost of a new guitar. Now from here, these words that I relate from the problem, I'm going to write my equation. The price of a used guitar is $120. Is translates into the equal sign, 25, since it's a number, can stay 25. More than translates into an addition sign, one half. And now here, the price of a new guitar, I'm going to call that P and say P is equal to the price of the new guitar. Should be a G, not a Q, guitar. So that'll be one half P. Now I need to solve that two-step equation. We'll first get rid of this positive 25 by subtracting 25 from both sides of the equal sign. The 25's on the right cancel. 120 take away 25 is 95. And that's supposed to be equal to one half P, or it is equal to one half P. Next, I'll multiply both sides by 2. The reason I multiply by 2 is to get rid of this fraction of one half. I multiply by its reciprocal, 2 over 1. The 2's cancel and leave us with the P. And 2 times 195 is 190. So P is equal to 190. So the cost of a new guitar is $190. So writing a two-step equation really relies on some basic English skills, being able to read and break down a sentence into its various parts. In this case, it's math parts. This has been Mr. Pilarski. I hope you found this lesson helpful. If you did, feel free to rate the video or leave me a comment.